Hello friends, today we're going to read Disney Pixar's Turning Red, adapted by Cynthia Aloud, illustrated by Nicole, and designed by Tony Fejeran. Maylin Lee, or May for short, was a fun and feisty 13-year-old. She loved animals, making dumplings, and playing the flute. She adored her friends Miriam, Priya, and Abby. And her number one favorite band in the entire universe was Four Town. May also loved her home life, but she kept it very separate from her school life. She and her parents, Ming and Jen, took care of the Lee family temple, where they honored their most revered ancestor, Sun Yi, guardian of the red panda. One night, May had a weird dream about enormous red pandas, and they didn't seem friendly. When she woke the next morning, she discovered something huge and very furry. She had turned into a giant red panda for real. May panicked. She hid in her bathroom. How could she show her furry face to anyone? Ming tried to check on May, but the smoke alarm went off in the kitchen. "My porridge," Ming said as she hurried off. May dashed to her room. Then she took a deep breath to calm herself. Poof! Her panda ears disappeared. She took another calming breath. Poof! Her tail disappeared. Before long, she was back to her human self again, except now she had red hair. May went to school and hoped no one would notice anything different, but a boy named Tyler started teasing her in front of everyone. May got upset, and poof, her panda tail came out. May went to class and calmed herself down. She pretended everything was normal, and then her mother showed up at school. Everyone gaped at May's mother. May, Ming cried, "It's Mommy." May was embarrassed. Poof! She exploded into Panda May and barreled out the classroom. When May got home, Ming revealed that their ancestor Sun Yi, along with all of her female descendants, had the ability to turn into red pandas. Thankfully, there was a cure. During the next red moon, they could perform a ritual to seal May's panda spirit into talisman, like her mother's. Until then, May would have to keep her panda hidden. The next morning, Miriam, Priya, and Abby arrived to check on May and to tell her about an upcoming Four Town concert. When they came face to face with Panda May, they screamed. May burst into tears, but her friends cheered her up. After a group hug, poof, May turned human again. She was able to control her panda, and that meant she can go to the Four Town concert. May showed her parents how she can remain calm even under extreme circumstances. They were impressed, but Ming still wouldn't allow May to see Four Town. May and her friends wouldn't take no for an answer. At school, they tried to figure out a way to raise money for the concert tickets. May poofed into her panda to help inspire ideas. Unfortunately, two girls walked into the bathroom and saw her. "You are the cutest thing ever," exclaimed one of the girls. They loved the panda so much, they even offered to pay for it. That gave Mai and her friends the idea of a century to use the red panda to raise money for their concert ticket. Before long, Mai was the star of the school. Their plan was working. Even Tyler loved her. He asked Mai to entertain the kids at his birthday party. But now there was a new problem. Mai learned that the Red Moon ritual was the same night as the Four Town concert. Mai's grandmother and auntie arrived to help with the ritual on the night of the red moon. The ceremony began and everyone chanted. Moments before, Mai was fully separated from her panda. She decided she couldn't go through with it. Boom! The ground shook and the temple filled with red smoke. When it cleared, Panda Mai was standing there in all her glory. "I'm going to the concert," she yelled as she ran out of the temple. How could she do this to her own mother? Ming explained. Her fury was so intense that it shattered her talisman. Panda Mai ran through the streets toward the concert. She leaped into the stadium and poofed back into a girl. Miriam, Priya, and Abby embraced her. "Four Town! Four Town! Four Town!" the crowd chanted. One by one, the pop stars took the stage. Nothing could ruin the moment for Mai, except a humongous red panda. It was Ming. My, she roared. The stadium was in complete chaos while gigantic Panda Ming with glowing red eyes towered over the crowd. As Mai's family arrived and began to prepare for another ritual, Mai and Ming fought like they never had before. "You're in big trouble, young lady," bellowed Ming. "I'm shutting this down right now." "Mom, no," Mai shouted. "This isn't you," Ming shouted back. "This is me," Ming explained. She was so mad. She launched herself at her mother and crashed into thump wump. Panda Ming fell to the ground. She was out cold. Mai's grandmother and aunties each broke their talisman. Poof, 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 poof. They pulled Ming into the circle and began performing the ritual. Maya and Ming ascended into the astral realm. Ming walked through a mirror, separating herself from her panda. She beckoned May to come with her, but May shook her head. "I'm changing, Mom, and it's not perfect, but I like it. I'm finally figuring out who I am." Ming relented. She placed her hand against Mai. "Don't hold back," she told her daughter. "The farther you go, the prouder I'll be." After that concert, Mai's life changed forever, for the better. For once, there was harmony in her life. She could hang out with her friends and spend time with her mom, and she didn't have to hide her true self from anyone. Mai was free to be whoever she wanted to be.